If you're looking to move to Portland, Oregon, you might want to check out this video. In this video, we're going to go through the Market Action Report. Now, this is a report available to all real estate agents that gets into the numbers on the housing market right here in Portland, Oregon. These numbers are for December of 2022. They always come out about a month later. So let's dive into it right now. Everybody, my name is Aaron Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in Portland, Oregon. We're gonna get into the numbers and what that means for you if you're looking to buy or sell a home right here in Portland. We're gonna go high level, hit a couple of key metrics that I like to look at so you can kind of get a handle on the local market right here and see how hot or slow it is depending on if you're a buyer or a seller. These are all great metrics just to be aware of. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My information's right down there in the description area. I can also send you this whole report if you're looking to get a little bit more granular in certain specific cities or neighborhoods. I'd be happy to send that to you. Or you can just reach out to me and we can discuss it over the phone. Okay, with that, let's get into the numbers. These are the numbers for December of 2022. Now they're always a little bit behind. Here we are in January. So right off the bat, let's focus right here. Here we are, we're December 2022. Here's the inventory in months. This is always great. Just to take a quick glance too, we got 2022 numbers, 2021 last year and the year before. We got a quick 3-year view here. Now these are the amount of inventory in months. So we see here we are all the way down here. We completed 2022. We're December 2022. 2.3 months. So what that means, if there was no more listings to hit the market, it would take approximately 2.3 months to go through to sell all the properties on the current market. So that's just a quick and easy way that the MLS uses to give us some numbers, to give us a sense of how much is on the market right now. How long would it take the market to absorb the current listings on the market right now? Now we're getting into a couple other numbers. And if you've been following along, you'll know what's coming up next. So we have 2.3. And we'll get into why that is. The previous month was 2.6 in November, and October was 2.4. So it kept going up and up and up. Here's where we had the rate increase this year in May, and then you started to see the inventory go up, up, came down slightly, started coming up, 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 and now it's gone slightly down again. And we'll get into why that is here in just a few moments. But in a nutshell, the market is still moving along in the same direction it has been for the last several months. Good news is interest rates are down, so you can expect to get interest rate anywhere from 6 to 6.5%. And you could pull some levers by even paying down that interest rate a little bit more if that's something you want to do. That could lower it down into the 5s, which is great. New listings are down 32% year over year for December of this year versus December of last year. We know all this. This is to be expected. So the big number here I want you guys to pay attention to is the amount of listings in December has decreased 35% from the amount of listings last month. So that is really why we're seeing the 2.3 months, the drop here, about a third of a point there, about maybe 1 week's worth of inventory. We're seeing that drop there because there's 35% less inventory going on the market than the previous month. So that is just naturally going to drop down the amount of inventory in months for that calculation. So that makes a lot of sense there. That makes a lot of sense there. It's also typical, if you look historically, that in December, in the winter months, you're gonna see a drop of inventory there. Not as many people are wanting to sell their homes over the holidays. So that makes sense that we're gonna see that drop in the amount of listings. The median price is $548,000 a year for the Portland metro area. That is up 7.7%, which is $509,000 from the December the year previous. So We looked 6 months ago, that trend was way higher. So that's pulled back quite a bit, which is actually good for the market. It's getting back down closer in the direction to more of a buyer-seller's market. So both of them have more equal leverage. I'm really happy with the trends that we're seeing here. Interest rates are coming down, things are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Buyers have been hesitant to get back in the market, but I am getting a lot more activity, a lot more calls, a lot more reach outs for people looking to move in the beginning of the summer. So something just to be aware of. I would expect it, just like normal, to start heating back up the market here locally. Nothing hopefully crazy, I don't anticipate like we saw last year, right? Since interest rates still are a lot higher, prices have been coming down and buyers have been pulling back. But this spring, I would expect to see more listings coming on the market as kids are getting out of school, that normal cycle. People are moving here, looking to relocate. In the summer is kind of the hotter, typical time for people to sell and buy a new home. So I am seeing all the trends heading in that direction. Like I said, I'm getting a lot more calls for people looking to move kind of in the beginning of summer towards the middle of summer. So I would expect more buyers to be coming onto the market and inventory to start tightening up a little bit. Just depends on how many people decide to sell their homes. So just to sum up, I do expect things to heat up as we get into the spring market. How much so? Nobody can really say, but it definitely will get more competitive than it is right now. Right now, we can easily negotiate things for buyers. We're able to get repairs, we're able to get amounts off of the price, we're able to get concessions like paying down the interest rates or money towards your closing costs. Those are the kinds of things that we're able to get buyers right now in this current market. I see as things start to tighten up, get a little bit more competitive, some of those little tools are probably going to go away. It's probably going to get harder for people to be willing to maybe buy down your interest rate, things like that. But I do anticipate still being able to do your normal inspection contingencies and being able to request repairs as needed. Just depends how far you'd be able to push those on the interest rate and how many buyers end up jumping back in the market. Let's take a quick look at total market time. This is the amount of days on market. Now we're seeing a big jump here from November to December. So if we look way over here on the right side, November was 44 days in general, okay? And this month we're seeing 55 days. So that's a big jump. And the median sales price has come down. It was $525, now we're at $507. So that's the median sales price for the Portland metro area. So it's not skewed by the ultra luxury homes where, as if you're looking at the average price, it gets skewed, it gets pushed up there because of a lot more expensive homes in and around the Portland metro, where the median kind of softens that back out so it doesn't tip the scales to make it seem a little bit more expensive. That is a big change, the amount of days on market, 44 to 55. Again, I would expect to see that total market time to start to come back down as we get into spring and more people start to get into the market and looking to sell and buy. Let's scroll down here a little bit to the next page. You look at residential current month. Let's look right over here. We don't need to look at the commercial land multifamily way over here. Most people are going to fall in this category. Let's look at Northeast Portland for active listings, almost 300. New listings in December was 92 and 80 expired, 123 went pending. And again, if we look at this year versus last year in December, about a 29% drop in the amount of pending sales. Closed sales was 146, which is the average sales price of 540. Not the median, that was the average, which is going to be a little bit higher, the total market days of 57. And if we look down here to Southeast Portland, which was higher again the previous month. So again, it still is one of the higher areas for the amount of active listings. 125 new listings that month and 153 went pending. Average sales price 506. Average days on market, total market time was 64 days. Wow, so that has jumped up quite a bit there. I just had a listing close in Southeast Portland and we had to drop our price by about 3%. Next, let's pop down here a little bit to Lake Oswego, Westland. 142 total active listings, 40, only new 40 listings in December, with only 35 pending in December, very low. Total market time, 58 days, so that's come up quite a bit too from the previous month. So now we're at 58 days. Now we're gonna get into Southwest Portland, here listed as West Portland, and it's a pretty big area, so you can see we have 456 active listings, 122 pending sales, 102 new listings, and 122 pending. Average sales price of $741 with 77 days total market time. So if you're looking in Southwest Portland, as a buyer, you're definitely gonna have a lot more ammunition, a lot more things in your corner. With that market time, basically tells us that you'll have a little bit more negotiating power. As things sit on the market, sellers get a little nervous, and you can use those as a buyer to negotiate a little bit better if you're willing to look at those homes where the seller is more eager to sell. Let's drop down and take a quick look at Beaverton. Below that, 230 active listings, 87 new listings, and 137 closed. Total market time, 45 days. Quite a bit less there than some of the other areas of Portland, with the average price of $504,000. So let's bring up this graph to kind of wrap up what we just saw, that total active residential listings here in Portland. So you can see in 2022, we're this big red mark right here. Last year is actually the green one, and the year before, 2020, is this dark navy blue one. So each one of these triangles is the month, and here are the numbers in that month. So you can see here, these are the total active listings that we have on the market right now. And this is why what's reflected in the total market time, like days on the market relates to it, and the amount of inventory in basically in months of what's on the market. The first metric that we looked at. So we have a little over 3,300 active listings on the market right now in the Portland metro area. And you can see there the previous 2 years, just for reference point of how many were on the market in those months. Last year, as we all know, it was a very, very tight market, totally different than we're in right now. And we had about half of the active listings in December as we do now. That's why our total market time is so much longer right now, because things are just sitting longer, but we have a lot less new listings. So we were just churning through them last year a lot quicker than we are now. So let's scroll down here to new listings. And this kind of shows us this graph here on that flip side. Here we are again in the red, green last year, navy year before. These guys are tracking pretty similar the last 2 years, but this year you can see we are way, way, way down here to the bottom of the graph here in December. And these are the amount of new listings to hit the market. Each of those triangles are for each month. So December, so it usually follows a trend here, as you can see from the past. We were kind of following that trend. Then as soon as that interest rate started rising up, here we are between May and June, we hit a peak here, and people started putting the brake on selling their homes, because guess what? If you sell your home, you probably needed to buy a home. So they had already locked in those low rates. So people are sitting tight, and you can see that trend following. Here we are right now, and the amount of active listings are getting even smaller, even though the days on market are getting up there. So it seems like there are more homes on the market, and there are at one time, but there's less new active listings hitting the market compared to last year every month. So that is going to start affecting the market. And that's why I think come this spring, as more buyers start to get in the market, they need to move. That inventory is going to start to tighten up again. So something just to be aware of. If you're looking to make a move and you can buy a little earlier than later, I think it's definitely in your best interest if you can. Maybe end up making an extra 1 or 2 months payment, but it might work out for you in the long run to have a little bit extra negotiation power. My name is Aaron Cullen. I'm a local real estate agent right here in the Portland metropolitan area. If you guys have any questions about the market, or you're thinking of moving here, please feel free to reach out. My information's right down there. Give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Be happy to talk to you about what's going on right here in the local market. And if you're looking to move here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and that way you won't miss the next video when it comes up, because I'm constantly putting out information of what's going on here locally. So if that's something you want to be in the know on, hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified next time I release a video. All right, everybody, I'll see you on the next one.